Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Nyawira Mwendo. In today's video, we are going to talk matters on mental health, and with me I have the CEO and founder of SSL Mental Awareness, and she's going to answer some of our questions and tell us the importance of entrepreneurial mental health. So karibu. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us all you do.
Thank you, Nyawira.
Yeah.
My name is Grace. I run a company by the name SSL Mental Awareness, and it's a faith-based organization. And our major mantle actually is to spread awareness and create awareness on mental health matters. And we do training, we offer therapy sessions for both groups and individuals. And we also have programs for schools and basically primary schools and high schools. And now we are going into campuses just for the youth. Yeah. So we just want to create awareness and just let's walk with people through this journey.
Wow.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Let's begin with, there's an author called David Sasha. He talks about there's no health without mental health.
That's right.
You know, and for us to understand even what mental ill health is, we need to understand what is mental health. So let's begin there. What is mental health?
Okay, so mental health basically is you're at a space where you're mentally stable. And when I say mentally stable, it means that you're able to live your life the normal way without any distractions, without feeling like your emotions are outweighing you. And then the second bit is you're able to relate to the people around you and your surrounding. Very important. Yeah, because it's something that we normally overlook when it comes to mental health, but it's a major aspect of mental health. You're social, because we are social beings. We were created as social beings. Yeah, so your surrounding really has a lot to do with your mental state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a friend of mine, Grace, who went through downsizing, a place she used to work, you know, and later on she started her own company. And she mentions 3 things that she noticed, because before she made her first sale, she talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, just getting to know the ropes, how is a business run, you know, and so forth. And 3 things she noticed. One was anxiety and stress. She noticed massive clinical depression. And then the third one was level of trauma. Okay. And statistics tell us that 72 of all entrepreneurs, either directly or indirectly, are affected by mental health issues. 1 out of 5 people is struggling with mental health issues, and this is according to National Institute of Mental Health. Now, 2 questions to you. Why are the numbers so high? And number 2, in your own opinion, why are entrepreneurs a vulnerable population when it comes to mental health?
Okay, that's actually I agree with you. You see, as entrepreneurs, you find we usually have a problem, or rather we struggle in creating a clear distinction between work and personal life. And I mean, an entrepreneur would understand when you're starting up a business, this is like your baby.
It's true.
Yeah? So you have to nurse it just normally like a mother. When you give birth to a child, you have to nurse that child, you have to take care of the child until they get to a point where they're now independent. So that period, there's a period where they're fully dependent on you. So as entrepreneurs, it's the same thing. When you start off your business, there's a period, there's a phase where this business is purely dependent on you. You can't let your hands off it. And now the problem comes in when we extend that phase. You see, case in point, I will give an example of a mother. When you give birth, you're told breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. So you find, as entrepreneurs, you want to breastfeed your business beyond the 6 months. Yeah. So it eats you up. It gets to a point where you cannot handle everything by yourself. Because for sure, if you're running your business past a certain period of time, let's say for example 6 months, then it means this business is doing well. It is growing.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is why you're still in it. So if it is growing, it is not where it was. It means things have changed.
Yeah.
Either your clientele base has grown, so it needs more manpower to handle and deliver the same services that you were or products that you were delivering initially. So as the business grows, we don't grow with it in terms of manpower. And then now you find you're caught up in a space where you are the HR, you are the, you're everything, in your business.
Yeah.
And the day you probably fall ill, your business can't run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as entrepreneurs, it is very important to create that clear distinction, have that clear distinction where biashara is biashara. When it gets to a certain time of the day, I need now to switch off to be either a mother, wife, friend, sister, daughter, brother, father, because life is not all about your business. You have a social life.
Oh yeah.
You have a family. And also one thing, just to note it, it gets to a point where some entrepreneurs, you're at home, probably with your family, at night, probably 8 o'clock, and you're still receiving calls. You're still giving orders.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So something you mentioned that I like, as an entrepreneur, you're really working hard because it's your baby, like you said, and I know as an entrepreneur when I was starting, there's a little bit of anxiety, like I'm putting all this effort, will it rip off, will I succeed, and then there are people looking up to me, in terms of direction, in terms of mentorship, leadership, But even as that anxiety kicks in, where do we draw the line in identifying that this anxiety is becoming a chronic mental issue, Yeah, where do we draw the line?
Okay, actually, and just to point it out, entrepreneurship is not easy.
It's not.
And it is not for the faint-hearted.
Oh yeah.
It is just it's a roller coaster. So just to answer your question, our bodies have a way of speaking to us.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how we were created. That's how we are wired.
Yeah.
Our bodies always speak to us. And you'll find most of the times we would ignore. Yeah. And when you talk to someone, probably you talk to someone who is ill or someone who has been ill for a long time, then they finally go to the hospital and the doctor asks you, hey, mali imefika. I mean, why didn't you come earlier? And this person would tell the doctor, by the way, at some point I would feel like a headache. There are days I would feel I'm a bit down, I can't leave the house. So your body has been speaking to you, but you're ignoring it. Yeah. So even in in the same predicament, the predicament is the same. Before you even get to that point where you're suffering anxiety or any of these mental issues, your body has already spoken to you severally.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like a car. By the time your car shuts down on you,
you've seen some signs.
Exactly. It has given you enough warnings. So we are like, unfortunately, that is how we behave with our bodies. Our bodies keep on giving us the signal, my friend, Hapa, we need to take a break, or we need to do something. Yeah. But we keep on ignoring and we keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. For some obvious reasons, maybe society expects you to do this, or even your bills. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Your bills demand you to, so you find like you're a bit too hard on yourself to an extent that you can't even respond to your body's signals. Then now you find yourself in that space. And that is why I always tell my patients and even the people that I talk to, when you feel, any day you wake up and you're feeling down and you're feeling like, I'm not my usual self, because you will know. You will. You have to take, that's the point at which you have to take action. Either take some time out, go rest, or just work out, go to the gym, or even do something as simple as go outside, take a stroll. Just clear your mind. Just do something that will make you go back now to your usual self.
Wow. Self-driven entrepreneurs are a lifeblood of our society. Talk to us about the importance of prioritizing our mental health as entrepreneurs.
Okay, first of all, it is important to note that if you're not mentally stable, then you can't be productive. You might think you're productive because you are able to do what you used to do. But in the real sense, you're not, because now when it comes to innovation, you can't even think of anything other than the norm. And the world is progressive. Every single day you have to go with the times. So if you're constantly doing what you used to do 2 months ago or a year ago, then it means you're not progressing. You're actually stagnating. For any business to be progressive, it means that you have to bring innovative ideas every other time, with the changes in time. And that's why we find so many businesses suffered during the COVID pandemic, because people were used to a certain way.
For sure.
Then now here comes the pandemic, where you have to work from home, where you have to do things virtually, and you had not set up the systems for that. So you find that most of the businesses, that's why they shut down. Probably if it's someone who was selling a product, they never had any online presence. So how do you even start?
How do you start?
Bills still need to be paid. So you find so many people shut down their businesses, went into depression, and all those other things. So as long as you're not mentally stable, then you're not going to be productive in any way, just to answer your question. So it is very important for you to be mentally stable. And remember, you're dealing with human beings. So you deal with different people with different characters. You'll have clients who are of different characters. So you have to be mentally stable for you to be able to deal with all these characters that you're meeting in a day. So you have to be that sober person for your business to run well. So your mental health is just everything.
It's everything.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
And how can people seek help? Or how can you help someone that they're struggling with it? Like I said, my friend who noticed, I'm not so sure how many entrepreneurs she talked to about, I think I noticed this and this. But one, as an entrepreneur, how do you seek help? And then as a partner or a friend, or, how do you help them out to seek help?
Okay, I'm happy that we are talking about seeking help. Because most of the people and most of the patients that you have, how they end up seeking therapy sessions is because someone started off suffering, or rather someone started going through depression or anxiety or any of this mental illness, and then never did something about it, just kept it to themselves. They probably thought, maybe I'm the only one. There are many reasons you might think you're the only one going through it, yet you're not. I mean, numbers don't lie. Statistics are showing us. So some people think probably they're the only ones going through it, or even stigma.
That's the other thing.
And that is why I am so passionate about creating awareness, just to let people know that this is not a peculiar thing, and it's not happening to specific kind of people. I mean, as long as you're alive, you're a potential victim of a mental illness. So it all depends on how you handle it. We all are potential victims. I myself am also a potential victim. But how I handle it is all that matters. So it is very important for people to seek help. And sometimes you find someone looks and like, ini kitu ndogo.
I know.
I can handle it.
I can handle it.
So you end up handling something that you cannot handle. Or you end up going through a journey by yourself. Yet you could have been helped when it was still at its early stages. And actually just to bring it out, depression in itself, as one of the very many mental illnesses that we have, has stages, just like cancer. There's stage 1, stage 2. So sometimes you look at someone and you're like, how did you even get to stage 4 depression? And this is someone who is actually someone who has family, someone who has friends, someone who has people around them. You can't say that they were alone. But now, the problem with depression is it starts isolating you.
Exactly.
So the moment you see some of these signs, of any of this mental illness, you need to seek help immediately. And the common signs are now the isolation. You know, sometimes, and in this era, we look at someone, we're like, let's just give them space.
Oh my God, that's so true.
That's
so true.
Because you wonder, why are numbers increasing? And because when you look back and you're thinking, how come when we were growing up, we never
used to see these things.
But now, because now we are exposed, now we've grown up knowing that people need to respect other people's spaces. It has even gotten to a point where people suffer depression and they even die in their own houses. And then their bodies are discovered later on, because now we are respecting someone's space. We can't go to someone's house because we are respecting their space. Yet this person is suffering. There's a lady, I think about less than a month ago, this lady was found in her house dead. Actually, it's a smell that made the neighbors. Yes. So the neighbors came, the caretaker was trying to break the door, they couldn't. So they broke in through the window. Now when they came in, they realized she had even actually moved tables to the door. She had actually basically blocked the door. So you're asking yourself, what was going through this person's mind? At her workplace, she had said that she had taken some days off and said that she was going to her mom's place. So basically, this is someone who was going through something and chose to do it by herself. So it is very, very important. Please, if you find you're going through, if you see any sign of a mental illness or something of mental instability, just seek help. Seek help.
And just to add, how can people help? Like now, like you talked about that lady. If I knew her and I saw some signs, then how can I approach it so that it doesn't seem like I am intruding?
I hear you. And just to note, there are people, we are all different, There are people who are introverts. There are people who don't like their business out there. And there are some signs that you can tell. Especially if you have known someone for a very long time. There's some changes in behavior that you will notice. Maybe this person used to hang out with us, then for some reason nowadays there are excuses. Whenever people are hanging out, I have to do this, I have to go somewhere, I have, people withdrawing themselves slowly. They always withdraw themselves. So that is one sign that you will notice with someone who is not mentally well, or someone who is sliding into depression or any other. And another sign would be, you'll find these people, sometimes someone would wake up and they're feeling like they don't even want to, they want to do nothing. They just want to stay in the bed or stay at home. So those are some of the things that, the signs that you look out for. When it comes to things like trauma, trauma is caused by many other things, and mostly past events. So it could be a childhood experience, or even when you're growing up, adulthood, So someone who is going through trauma normally has fear when they're put in that space that gives them the trauma. So case in point, maybe, and God forbid, maybe a child who was abused when they were younger, let's say probably sexually abused, when they find themselves in a space where there are other men, they feel frightened.
Okay.
And to some it's bad. It's extend to a place where they even start sweating.
Oh, wow.
As in, so you'll notice there's a change in behavior.
There's a change. Okay.
Yeah, because mental illness, our bodies react to it. Yeah. And sometimes we sit down and talk and you're like, by the way, mbona nani siku hizi anakuanga hivyo? You know, those are telltale signs that we should not ignore. The moment you feel, this person used to be like this, and nowadays there's a certain way they behave, then you should not ignore. You can approach the person, or even ask someone who is close to them to approach them.
Yeah.
The issue we find is most people don't like talking about what they are going through because of confidentiality issues. Yeah. Because you might tell someone, then you hear it with another someone who was told by another one.
You don't want to be the subject of discussion when you're going out, you know.
Exactly. So you find you're keeping it to self, and it's eating you up.
Yeah.
So if you find you're in that space where you cannot talk to someone, or you're scared of your things going out, then look for a therapist. Yeah. This is someone who doesn't know you, and this is someone who will actually give you legit advice without judging or without taking sides.
Yeah. You talk about therapy. Tell us about your program. And I like the fact that you bring biblical aspect into it. Talk to us about that, and even how can people join your program?
All right. We have partnered with the St. John's Ambulance.
Okay.
And now we are taking the programs into schools because according to the research that we have done, we have realized that very many school-going kids are going through some of these mental issues that we have. So, and you know, teachers are not trained. I mean, teachers are trained to teach.
Oh my God, yes, yes.
So they are also struggling with, you know, like mentoring or even giving counsel to kids who are going through depression. And some of them come from home with these burdens. Yeah. I remember there's a story that was in the papers, I think, and also on social media some time back, where there's a girl from one of the high schools around. Actually, I went to that high school. The girl committed suicide in school. Wow. Yeah, she threw herself, I don't know, from the first or the second floor. And then a note was found under her pillow. Apparently, this girl, the mother separated with the father. So to her, it really affected her for obvious reasons. And she had a problem with her mother because she was thinking the mother is the one to blame.
Oh, okay.
So this person has come with this burden from home. The teacher is coming to class every single day. The teacher is teaching, but she has missed to notice that one of her students is actually suffering. Yeah. So that is the main reason why we decided, no, we have to take this to schools because there is a huge gap. There is a problem. No one is addressing it. And of course now we are seeing the consequences of it. So we are partnering with schools. We are actually in the process of we already have some that have signed up. Okay. And we are still reaching out for others. And basically we are going to create awareness. When we find, and that's our programs, how we work, when we find someone is beyond us, and why I say beyond us, they're those whose cases are critical. Okay. Yeah. Ours is to offer therapy. Okay. A psychologist or a psychiatrist are the only ones who can diagnose. So when we find that this person is beyond us, then now we transfer them to our psychiatrists, because we have a group of psychiatrists and psychologists that we work with. So these are the ones who can tell you that where you are at, there's a condition that needs to be taken care of. You need medication. They're the only ones who are certified to medicate. We do not medicate. So basically that is how our programs run. The biblical aspect of it. Before I started SSL mental awareness, for me, let me just call it a calling for me, because I felt like the Lord was calling me into this ministry.
Okay.
Let me call it ministry because we incorporate the word in it.
Yes.
And before I was called to that, I had in 1 year, actually in a span of 2 months, I lost 2 very close people to me through suicide. And actually one was through suicide caused by depression, and another one died through depression, actually now the stage 4 type of depression.
Yeah.
Yes. And I sat at a corner and I asked myself, these people were surrounding me. I never helped them. In fact, one of them, I'm not even sure, okay, maybe the Lord is the one to judge.
Yeah.
But based on his lifestyle, I'm not sure he knew the Lord.
Okay.
And for me, I believe, for someone who knows the Lord, I don't think you can get to that point where you'll take your life away.
For
You'll
sure.
take your life. Because he committed suicide. He actually hung himself on a tree.
Oh man.
Yes. And I was like, God, I would interact, because that guy was one of our employees.
Okay.
And I was like, I would interact with this
With him
person
on a
every
daily
single
basis.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And there's no single day I even thought about sharing with him about Christ. Yeah. So I was like, no, there is something that I can do.
Yeah.
I was born for a reason.
Oh yeah.
And maybe God had allowed these things, allowed me to go through this journey so that I, wake up and realize, oh, by the way,
that's a wake up call,
Yes, you need to do something.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, no, there's something I need to do. So in one of my many devotions, moments of devotions and prayer, I just felt the Lord just telling me that this is what you need to do. Reach out.
Okay.
Because people are actually suffering. And after I did my research, I was like, by the way, there's a huge gap.
Okay.
There's a very huge problem. And more so after the COVID pandemic hit,
Oh man.
then things just became too bad.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I believe as a born-again Christian, depression basically, I believe, is not of the Lord. Yeah. And there are very many Bible verses that back that up. Yeah. There are very many Bible verses where we are called to lean not on our own understanding, but onto Christ.
Yeah.
And the moment you realize that this life that I live, I have no control over it.
Absolutely.
I am just a steward.
Yeah.
I was brought here. I was told, I was given life to live, which I have to be impactful. At the end of the day, the person who gave me that life is the only one who can be able to take it away.
Yeah.
So he's the one who handles everything.
Yeah.
The Bible says that God holds us at the palm of his hand. So everything that surrounds me, it's his business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the mistake that we do is we try to help God do his work. Yeah. So it's all about just surrender and let God do his work. He's the one who knows about tomorrow. We know nothing about tomorrow.
We have no idea.
We know nothing about the next few hours. We didn't know about COVID. We don't know about...
We have no control, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the moment you realize that, then life becomes even easier for you. Yeah. Because now you'll stop worrying about things that you cannot change, things that are beyond you, or even things that you can change and you have not been able to. Then there's someone who I can run to and he will help me.
Yeah.
The Bible says that when Jesus was ascending, he told the disciples that I will send you a helper. So if I am being given a helper,
it may
why
Why
am I doing all these things by myself? There's someone who is there readily available to help me. All I need to do is ask for that help.
Come on.
Yeah. So that's what I realized. For me to do mental health awareness and to offer therapy, I cannot separate myself from the word. It's one and the same thing.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so deep, Grace, that you say that. Tell us, how can people reach you?
So on YouTube,
Yeah.
we are at SSL Mental Awareness. On Instagram, we are at 254 Wellness.
Yeah.
TikTok, we are mental wellness therapist. My parting shot is you are born for a reason. You're here for a reason. The fact that you're still alive, it means that there's a purpose that you're here for, that you need to accomplish. So always seek the Lord in everything. And when it comes to your mental stability, whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling you're not okay, before you even seek help, rush to the Creator, seek help from God, and then now you'll be able now to seek the necessary help. If you're okay and you see someone who is going through any of these issues, you can help them, you can talk to them. If you're not able to talk to them, look for someone who can reach them. And you can also share some of these things that we post online. They can be of help to someone. Don't allow someone to get to that point where it's a point of no return. Let's help people when they can be helped. Let's be there for one another. Yeah.
Thank you, Grace, again for the opportunity. I've learned a lot. And
yeah?
just sharing about mental health issues and how I can reach out. I think for me, it's point of how can I reach out if I see something? And that's my takeout today. I hope you guys have been inspired. And for me, what I can tell you is, I remember the word, like she just says it, run to God. 1 Peter 5:7 says that cast all your anxiety to him, because he cares for you. And remember, where there is hope, there is life, and when there is life, there is hope. So till we meet again, God bless you, and bye.